Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica Flynn and I am the owner and maker of Flynn Sisters Boutique. And today's video is kind of like a 3-for-1 tutorial. I'm going to give you 3 different looks. I'm going to show you how to create a pineapple glitter tumbler, a strawberry glitter tumbler, and a watermelon glitter tumbler, all in time for summer. I absolutely love these cups. I think they're just so cute and simple. I don't know like who originally came up with these ideas. If it's you, please name yourself in the comments so I can give you credit in my description box. It's just, they've been around for such a long time, but these are not my design ideas. I just think they're super cute and I wanted to show you guys how I would do them. You're going to find all the products that you see in this video listed down below in the description box. You might even find some discount codes for you there as well. That's enough chit chat for me. Let's go ahead and get started. Guys, so as usual, I'm starting with a fully prepped and sanded cup. If you need help figuring out how to prep your cups, I will link a tutorial down below that I think you'll find really helpful. Tells you all about all the different ways that you can prep your cups to get started, okay? And I'm going to start with the base paint for our watermelon cup. For this cup, I'm going to use a satin paint from Rustoleum called Candy Red, and no, it's called Apple Red, excuse me. And we're just gonna paint almost all the way down, but not quite, because I want to leave some room for this green. This is Spring Green from Rustoleum. I think this is a gloss paint, I'm not sure, it doesn't really matter, but I'm just gonna do really short, quick strokes of paint like you see here, just so I don't get any drips and things like that. You want to constantly keep your spray paint in motion, and also make sure that you have shaken your spray paint cans for at least 60 seconds each before you start spraying them. And then spray them upside down once you're finished with a color to keep your nozzles from clogging. I'm going to spray really short, quick strokes of white here through the middle of the red and the green to create the illusion of like the rind of our watermelon. And I'm just going to kind of keep layering the paint until I like the proportions of the red and green. So if you need to spray a couple times to color correct, that's totally fine. And then once we're done here, I'm just going to let this dry in front of my space heater for about 15 to 20 minutes or until it's dry to the touch, and we can move on to our next step. And once our paint is totally dry, we're ready to move on to our glitter. I've already mixed about 5 milliliters of epoxy here, and I'm just going to dip my finger in and use less than 1 milliliter of epoxy. The surface of my cup should be warm to the touch. I do that by just putting it in front of a space heater to help speed along that dry time of this, spray paint. And having your cup a little bit warm when you put that epoxy on for glitter is just going to help it really glide like butter all over the surface of the cup while giving you the thinnest layer of epoxy possible, because we really want minimal coverage here before glitter. I'm going to start with my red glitter first up at the top, following along with my base colors that I've already spray painted as my guide. And I'm not really letting it rip yet. I'm kind of more so laying down a rough draft of where my colors are going to go. And once I'm done with each color, I'm going to very aggressively tap off the excess to ensure that I don't mix colors here. For the bottom color green, I'm using Linderr from Peachy Olive Glitters. It's such a beautiful green, perfect for a watermelon. Again, tapping off all that excess really well, especially before we go into our white. For the white, I'm using Nookie from Peachy Olive Glitters. And I just want to put enough on there to get decent coverage through that white section. And then I'm really going to let it rip with the red and the green to ensure that I've got beautiful coverage all over. For that, I'm just going to really aggressively tap off the excess into the trash can, and then I'm going to let this sit on my rack to dry upside down for at least 2 to 3 hours before we move on to epoxy. Now I'm going to show you guys my process for making the strawberry cup. All right, so for this strawberry design, I started with a fully prepped and sanded cup that I had spray painted this beautiful magenta pink color. I'll have the spray paint for this one listed and linked down below because I can't remember exactly what it was called. And you want to make sure that your paint is fully dry. So I just put my cup after I spray painted it in front of my space heater for about 30 minutes until it was completely dry to the touch. And then let it cool down a bit, and then you can move on to this tape and stenciling process. I put a thick piece of painter's tape about a 1/2 inch down from the top of the cup all the way around, and then just using a regular pencil, I freehanded what will be the leaves of our strawberry up here at the top. They don't have to be perfect, but I wouldn't make them too detailed because I'm going to be using vinyl to add pinstriping to these later, so I don't want them to be too intricate or like curly and stuff at the tips of the leaves. After I've drawn on the leaves, I'm just going to use a really sharp craft knife to trace along the leaf lines that I drew. This is really similar to how I do like mountain silhouettes in some of my older tutorials, if you guys have seen those. But you're just gonna run your craft knife right along what you just drew. Super easy to do. And once you've got that all cut out, you're just going to remove the top portion of that tape to reveal where it is that you'll be making it like green for the leaves, if that makes sense. I'm going to use saran wrap to like mask off the remainder of my cup, and then we'll spray paint that top portion with this beautiful spring green spray paint. And so my paint dried pretty quick. It was just about 20 minutes or so. And I'm ready to apply my glitter. So I've got 5 milliliters of epoxy mixed here, and I'm going to spread on a really teeny tiny amount, just enough to cover all of these leaves. This epoxy is going to be the adhesive for our glitter. So once I've got this all spread on there nicely, I'm just going to really let it rip with this Hula green from Peachy Olive Glitters. I thought it was like the perfect green for strawberry leaves. It's so pretty. And I'm just going to sprinkle it on and make sure I have really nice even coverage around the entire surface there. And I am going to immediately remove the tape and the masking once I'm done glittering. You don't want this to dry with all that tape and stuff on there, so get that stuff off there right away. And then I just let this sit on my rack to dry for about 2 hours upside down before we move on to glittering the bottom portion. I wanted to show you guys really quick the process for the pineapple cup. The pineapple cup is pretty much identical to how we did the strawberry one. I just made my leaves a little bit differently than the strawberry leaves. These are more like pointy like pineapples, and I use this pretty lime green for the leaf color. And then the green glitter that I used on this is actually discontinued. It's Trash Panda from Peachy Olive Glitters, but you could use any green. You could have used like Hula, like that I used for the strawberry, or Linderr, or I've got a bunch of substitutes listed in the description box. So if you'd rather use those instead, or maybe you have Trash Panda in your collection. So again, you want to let those leaves dry for at least 2 to 3 hours before you move on to glittering the bottom part. If you're using fast set epoxy, obviously that time will be quicker, maybe about 1 to 2 hours, but definitely want to make sure it's totally dry before you move on to epoxying and glittering this bottom part. So what I did to glitter the bottom is, again, I mixed 5 milliliters of epoxy, and I'm spreading less than 1 milliliter on, just how I would normally glitter a cup. But I did use like a little silicone brush to get in between those leaves and really line out the detail. The that I'm using for this is Magdalene from Peachy Olive Glitters, and this is just a larger cut of the color Hopeless Romantic. So we're going to use this on the side of our cup so we can get big sparkle, but I'm going to use Hopeless Romantic on the bottom so that I have an easier time getting the bottom of my cup smooth. I don't like to use very large cuts on the bottom of my cups because it's just more drama trying to smooth all that out. I also really let it rip with the Hopeless Romantic over the Magdalene just to fill in any kind of spots that we might have had left over from that larger cut. Once we've got this all glittered, I'm going to let this dry for a full 2 to 3 hours. And then I'm going to aggressively tap off any of the excess. And I'm also going to try and brush off any kind of glitter that might have gotten into sections where it shouldn't be. And then I'm going to spray it with this Rustoleum two times clear gloss spray to fully seal in all of that color and make sure everybody stays put. That clear gloss spray paint takes about 20 minutes to dry, and then I put my first layer of epoxy on. I let that first layer of epoxy dry for about 4 to 6 hours, and I went straight into a second coat of epoxy. And then since these cups have so much glitter on them, I just went ahead and went straight into a third coat of epoxy 4 to 6 hours after the second. So just to recap, that's first coat of epoxy, then second coat 4 hours later, and then third coat I think I did about 6 hours later, and then I let that third coat go for 8 to 12 hours before I started on my sanding. I usually just go straight into 3 coats anytime I am doing a cup with a lot of glitter, just because it cuts down on the amount of sanding that I have to do. I know I'm going to end up having to sand the rims anyway, so I might as well just give myself a little bit of a break there. So that's what we did here. I forgot to film myself epoxying these. I'm sorry about that, but you guys have seen me epoxy cups a million times. And I'm just really smoothing out the top and bottom rim of my cup. Anytime I'm smoothing out the bottom rim that has a really sharp corner like this, you want to pay really special attention that you don't sand down too much, because it's super easy to sand straight down to the stainless steel. So just be really careful. I got a bit of a wobbly bottom on this one, so I'm going to run it against a 220 grit sandpaper to smooth that out. I like to just lay it flat against the table and then drag it across the paper, and that cures my wobbly bottom super quick. After I get these all sanded up, I'm going to take them inside to rinse them off with some dish soap and water, and then we'll dry them off with paper towels, and we're ready for decals. All right, so for my strawberry seeds, I was really particular about the shape of seed that I wanted, so I ended up drawing my own on a piece of white paper. And then I just scanned it into my computer with my scanner, and then I uploaded it to Cricut Design Space like I would any other image. And boom, I have my own special strawberry seeds. I ended up using Google, like some seeds that I found in Google for the watermelon, but I really like how this seed shape turned out for the strawberry. For the strawberry leaves, I did want to kind of clean up those edges, so I cut some vinyl strips using Oracal 651 vinyl, and I cut these at 11.5 inches wide by 0.08 inches tall, okay? And because they're thinner and because these are just like regular colored vinyl, they're gonna move with the curved lines of those strawberry leaves really well. I don't think that this would work as well with like metallic vinyl, because we do need to have some like flexibility to it. But it worked out just fine, and I really love how this looked. So it didn't take too long. You guys have seen me do like pinstriping like this before. But I just love how it looked. After I got the leaves done, I just kind of randomly placed those seeds how I wanted, and that was all the vinyl work that I did for the strawberry. All right, and so for the watermelon cup, I'm going to show you guys how I created the decal for this one. This SVG that I'm using, unfortunately, has been discontinued. It's super old, but the same artist who created this has an updated version of a similar design, which I've linked down below in the description box. I want to create an offset around this, and so I'm going to use the new feature in Cricut to make the offset. So I'm going to duplicate my image here, and then I'm going to attach all the layers so that all the layers that were included in that SVG are now just one layer, okay? And in this new single layer version of our image here, I am going to apply the offset feature around it. So I'm just going to click offset, and then I'm going to play with these controls until I get my desired width for my offset. And then I am going to delete that flat version, that extra version that I had created there, okay? I'm gonna layer everything up just to make sure it looks good. And then before I cut this, I wanna make sure that I select all the red parts of my design and then attach them. And then I will select all the green parts of my design and attach them. That way they all cut in the layers as one, like I want them to. I hope that all makes sense. If you guys want a separate tutorial on that, let me know. There's tons of great Cricut tutorials out there that'll show you how to layer your vinyl, and I've tried to do a couple here on the channel, but if you need extra help with that, let me know. So I'm just gonna layer up my decal like I normally would. I'm starting with the green parts first. These are like the smallest details that'll be over the top. And then I'm just gonna layer that over this beautiful kind of like red fuchsia holographic situation. And then I will layer that all over the black for our offset. And then I'm just going to transfer my decal onto my tumbler like I normally would. And then once we have that all completed, I'm going to put the watermelon seeds around this decal design. The watermelon seeds were just some like generic watermelon seed shapes that I had found on Google, and I just cut them with Oracal 651 black permanent vinyl. For this pineapple tumbler, I just cut like a generic pineapple SVG that I found in Google. If you want to just Google like pineapple SVG, you'll find a ton of them. And I just cut them with this beautiful like peachy holographic vinyl that I got from the vinyl people. And I'm just gonna place these kind of scales, I guess they are, like randomly around my cup, just to kind of do an abstract kind of pineapple vibe to it so that you can tell it's a pineapple and not an ear of corn or something. I don't know. I really struggled with that pineapple to try and find like a subtle pineapple look, and I think this kind of worked for it. So once I've got all the decal work done, I am going to seal my vinyl with Counterculture DIY Quick Coat water-based urethane sealer. I always get questions about this stuff every time I use it in a tutorial, guys. You can find it at counterculturediy.com. This is a water-based urethane sealer. And not only is this going to seal the edges of our vinyl to make sure it doesn't bubble up under epoxy, it's also going to seal any contaminants that might be on the surface of my cup after all that goings on of doing all that vinyl work. And it's going to help me get a really drama-free final coat. So I'm going to let that dry for about 30 to 45 minutes. And then I'm going to move on to my final coats of epoxy. Using regular Alumilite Amazing Clear Cast for my final coats. These all took a couple of final coats to get them totally perfect, but I just love how these turned out. I love the simplicity, I love the colors, I love the summer vibes. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments, and if you liked our video, please be sure to give us a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss a new video. I do upload every Wednesday and Saturday. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you soon. And a big thank you to all of our Flynn Sisters exclusive members. Thank you for your pledge. Your support means the world to our channel. If you love this video, you could check out our last video here. Also be sure to find us on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and of course subscribe for all our new videos that come out every Wednesday and Saturday. Thanks so much for watching. See you soon.